Alright guys, welcome to a video of me and Begum. So to introduce you guys to Begum, Begum has been working with me for the past 2-3 years. How we started working together basically is I used to be a coach, I don't remember from my last content, but I used to be a coach at a marketing sort of school. And so she joined as a student in that school and she was one of my first students. I looked into her and was like, she's kind of smart. So she's a little bit smart. So I started being a little bit more, my attention towards her a little bit more. And so after a while, I started an agency, wasn't really taking it seriously because I already had a job and stuff. And so I was like, all right, maybe I should just go with her, ask her to become my business partner. And so she was my student, she taught a lot, she was smart, she taught on top of stuff. And then I was like, yo, you want to become my business partner?
Yeah.
And then that's how we started.
The magical proposal of my life.
Yeah, actually, that was a pretty good proposal. And then we started working together, and ever since then we've been working together in multiple different fields and stuff. But that's how it basically all started.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember from when you joined the academy? How you met me?
Yeah. So this whole the whole podcast, the video, I suppose, all going to be about the power of building relationships as well. Which is, now that I think about it, it has been the most return on investment thing I've ever done in my life. To just be humans with humans. Like if we didn't speak, if you didn't have an actual conversation with you and stuff, I don't think we would have been here. Just building that relationship over time, kind of putting in the effort to build the relationship has been the most return on investment thing I've ever done. And it's not something that I forced at all. Like, it was just natural. But I think a lot of people in the business space, they just tend to sleep on that. I think just not building good relationships and putting in the effort to do that too. And your question was, what do I remember from the academy when I first joined?
So what did you initially get into academy? What were you looking for?
Why?
Yeah. Because you started basically, you paid the program to learn how to launch a marketing agency.
Yeah.
And that's basically the only thing that you are not doing right now.
Right. So no, that's true.
What was the thought process behind that?
Yeah, how the path changed. But so the initial thought process was just to have your own agency, obviously, and getting into the online space. And I did try to do my own thing for a while with no education whatsoever. I was kind of against paying, obviously, 4K upfront, bang, like that, before getting some results in, because it's the online space. If you're not into it, obviously it can sound like it's a scam. It does look like a scam. It doesn't look kind of real when you first get started until you get your sleeve into it. And for a while it did seem like a scam as well. When you're in it, in the first few months, it did seem like it's not legit. But after a while, when you start seeing the results, it does look more legit. And that's the point where I was like, okay, this is actually possible. This is the reality. Then I can now pay some 4K to meet with Giannis and be coached by Giannis.
Yeah. What did you find, for us, keep in mind that for people like me and Begum, I'm from Greece. Paying 4,000 euros for a program is a big deal. So you can't easily afford that.
Yeah.
So how did you
gather the money, right? And bear in mind, I was proper broke at the time. And I just borrowed the money. I just collected the money. So that's why I live by that thought process of if you want to make it happen, you will make it happen. And I just borrowed money from other people, and I got into the academy. And with that, it has been the most return on investment thing. So it was definitely a right decision to kind of gather the money, get into the academy. Yeah. And I think, and when I think about the academy, right, and you've been a student in the academy as well, right? When you first started, type of thing.
Was.
Yeah. So you had the two sides of it, being a student and then eventually turning into a mentor, which did happen to me as well, which is funny. True. The same, we watched the same path. But for you, being a student in the academy, what do you think was the most important thing that you took away from it? Yeah, that I learned.
I've talked to you about this before multiple times, but the main thing that I got away from being a student was not so, of course, the learning here was incredible. Can't explain how good it was. But the biggest thing was the actual action and the mindset that I built towards it, and the getting to the habit of working online and getting to the habit of learning and listening to other people and meeting other people and just working towards a specific goal and just, in general, just working towards something that I actually want. And so it wasn't more so, it was just because I made the investment I had to make it work, which I learned like when I invested myself into this, because if it was free,
Yeah.
not you, not me,
No.
nobody would have taken it
Yeah.
seriously. And as much as yes, it is expensive, it was definitely worth it because you did learn how to do some pretty simple stuff. Obviously, that expands over time. You learn over time by actually putting in the work. But on top of that, the best thing is actually the action that you took. Just fire up, yes, I need to make the 4K back. And you, both in you and I, and a lot of students that I worked with, and probably you worked with as well, notice the same thing. As soon as they gave the 4K, they just don't stop until they make it work.
Yeah.
Like at least a lot of them that actually want to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the best thing that you can do is just invest in yourself and just
Yeah.
do it. Put yourself in a position that you have to do it. You have no other choice.
Yeah, yeah, I do agree, because the learning of the gathering the information and the right resources always been out there, right? It's like you don't necessarily need to, like, there wasn't like this holy grail like gem thing in the academy that made it all happen type of thing. It was more like you get some fire up your bum to make it work to an extent. Like if you just pay that, and you have, and also other people's accountability when you see other people actually doing, and it's especially important. It's especially important to have that community if you're in a place where you're in a third world country. Like, I don't know, I'm from Turkey, so like I didn't have nobody around me that was doing this at all. And then when I see you as my mentor, a guy from Crete that's making this work, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, literally living with the sheep, but at the same time working online. I was like, that's possible then. That's literally possible. And I think online space specifically, it's very important to have that community.
Yeah.
And academy was also the academy was the place that I learned that earning differences are simply learning differences. Like earning problems are learning problems, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, and with that community, obviously, with the mentor, the once you understand, you're just lacking some knowledge that you haven't gotten before, and you need to just implement it, and that's how you make it happen.
Yeah.
So
very good. Yeah, so that's pretty much how we met and how it all went. I remember when we first started working together with Begum, we were at the point that we were seeing, especially she was seeing when she had run her own agency, she was like looking at the success stories, because at that program everyone was posting their success stories, like sign 10 clients, sign 2 clients, sign 3 clients. And then she was at a point that she was asking me, are these all people just signing clients and not doing what's going on? And then I was like, yeah, so you gotta do cold calls. So like that. And I remember pushing it to do cold calls and stuff. So you always go through a period and look, for example, now you guys looking at us, or everybody looking at us, we just explain it in a way. Okay, we started working together, and now we're sort of made it. But there's a lot of stuff that happened between that. For example, we started working together, she invested in the program, and then she made it work, but that happened 2 years after. In the past 2 years, what she's been and what I've been through is like going into debt, not making any money, being broke in other countries, having $0 in your bank account, just trying to constantly make it, and trying to work at 12-hour days, no payout. And a lot of people actually quit that. A lot of people actually quit that.
Yeah.
Is at the point that they're like, okay, this doesn't work. Because a lot of people are, as Alex Ramones says a lot, you do what you've been rewarded to do in the past. So if you do something new, you're not being rewarded for it in any way.
yeah,
But you keep doing it, that's literally the, what's it called? The definition of insanity.
yeah.
Literally.
Oh, that's true.
And so
You have to be insane for a period of your life to make it work. Which
you have to just keep pushing, do it. And so a lot of people don't do that, and then they're like, oh, but this guy started working online and now he's made it. He's luckier than me. He did it what happened faster. He didn't. It's just that I can't sit here and talk about what exactly happened in the last 2 years. I can talk about other bad things, and she can too. But at the end of the day, it's not how. It's again, it's a point that you start working. You're working, and when you made it, to everyone else, it seems like overnight success.
yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, you just made it in a day. Well, we did it.
Yeah,
Nobody did.
definitely did not. And I think what I got from what you said is as well, people don't try to kind of avoid hard work. Like you see, and you tend to see a lot of hardworking people just not being in the place where they want to be. It's more like hard work combined with not knowing the full clarity on the outcome. Like you literally just hardworking plus the unknown outcome, that combination is what I think I've seen that gets you to a place where like hard work alone will never get you. So for example, if you're like just a hardworking person and you're I don't know, certain things like very instant gratification, you know that you're going to get the outcome, but you're a hardworking person and you work really hard to get to the outcome. Those things where you have like a very precise outcome that you're going to get, those things the universe doesn't typically reward you for those things. But what the universe rewards you the most to is if you just keep on pushing without knowing the outcome. Like there's just this whole vast majority of, so you, in the back of your mind, you working 10 hours a day, literally 10 hours a day, doing cold calls, doing the most uncomfortable things. And at the end of the day, when you go to sleep, you're like, you don't have the certainty that this is going to work out, which is insane. Whereas with any other aspects of life, like an example, like if you're studying for an exam, for example, like I don't know, just came to my mind. You know that if you study enough and you work hard enough, then you are going to get a very, very good score to an extent. Like you're 90% sure at least. But with the online space, the reason why it's so rewarding and the reason why it allows you to do all these things, I think, is because you do it without knowing, without not being really sure if this is actually true, if this is gonna work at all, if this is for me and stuff. So yeah, I think it's one of the biggest factors is the hard work alone doesn't typically get you somewhere. It's the hard work plus the unknownness, the unknown territory that you're going into, plus the hard work that I think gets you the best results. Yeah. Would you agree?
Definitely. How do you think, is it easier for a girl to make it in the online world or more difficult?
That's a funny question. That's a great question. So I think that it has its pros and cons like anything in life, but in particular, depends on where you kind of lean towards it, right? If, for example, I've been in a bunch of different things, like industries, like closing, I don't know, being a business owner of an agency, closing, appointment setting, so all the realms of the online business, I touched just a tiny bit. And I think certain things like, for example, closing, I do definitely think you do have an advantage, especially if you're an attractive girl. Like, if you look after yourself.
Would you say you're an attractive girl?
Well, chat. No, I'm neutral. I say pretty like if you're like an attractive girl with, I don't know, just an attractive girl really, like, and you look after yourself, I think you do have a very much of a tendency, so you will definitely have an easier job getting into the job opportunity market because you're just like the odd one out. And that gives you an unfair advantage, to be fair, when you're like, whether you want to do closing, whether you want to be an agency business owner, when these business owners are just used to see the actual archetype of men that's just been in the online space. When they see like an attractive woman on the camera, they're like, oh, this just gives me another feel. It's like a pattern interrupt in their brain, which I think gives you definitely an unfair advantage to get started with the business at least. I do think though there's a con I think starting a business as an attractive female is easier, but then just proving yourself furthermore and just getting into much more high leverage positions, I think you do have to put just a little bit more of a hard work, a little bit more. You have to prove that you're kind of smart in a way to other people around you to be able to get into that position and keep on proving yourself a little bit more compared to maybe other men.
It's much more difficult in reality for a woman to be. It's much less common for a woman to be working online because usually they're not that drawn into it. Usually they're doing more sort of regular type of jobs. Like I've noticed about 5 or 6 out of maybe 10. I don't know the statistics exactly, but out of 10 I see 1 or 2 women. 8 are men and 2 are women type of thing. Like even if our company, we're running a company, like that does about 5 million a year, and like the men are so much more than girls, I believe. Yeah,
absolutely. And I will tell you the reason for that. I do not particularly think it's about the online space. I think just women generally, they don't tend to, as much as men, be positioned as a provider and just want to earn a lot of money. Oh my God, we're going to get canceled.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't think, like, women tend to, statistically, don't want to make as much as money as men do because they don't, I think that this is actually very intelligent, although I'm in the contrary side of things where it's like, I want to make a lot of money, I want to travel, blah, blah, blah. I think women most women don't want to be in a position where they make, I don't know, 100K, 200K a month compared to the statistical man. Like the average man probably wants to make a lot more money than the average woman. And I think it comes from a intelligent place, actually, emotionally intelligent place, where they understand that money does not solve a lot of problems, does not solve all problems. It does provide something to an extent, but they know that and I'm telling this from a lot of female friends that I had, it's like, they do want to make money to the point that they can support their lifestyle and stuff, but they understand the mentality of like, okay, when I hit 10K, and if I want to make 20K a month, I know that discrepancy is simply because of ego and of mostly things that are just driven, not intrinsic motivations in a way. It's just like extrinsic. It's just like just to prove themselves in a way. And because they have a better understanding of that, I think that's why you would see men hustle more to make more money.
Have you shared the saying that says if you put a shark in an aquarium, she's gonna grow as far as the aquarium, like a small aquarium. It's gonna grow as much as it allows it to.
Right.
So I'm saying that women are socially being put down to that you can't really make it that easy.
Oh, the 100%.
And that naturally over time has planted this seed on their
Right.
minds. They're like, no, I can't be that easy to make it.
Yeah.
And though they get settled with for less, or they don't try in the first place. Whereas men are more incentivized, more motivated to go out there and get stuff done. Whereas it's funny because all of our clients are girls, and they're making a lot of money. Like we have girls that are made like millions of dollars in the last 2 years. And those girls, what did they have different from other girls is that they first of all got approached by us. That's one thing. And then, but it's still hard convincing them. Like when I was speaking to a girl that is now needing help for online modeling or whatever that may be, she's like, she doesn't believe that it's possible. Like over a lot of times they're like, I don't believe that I can make $15,000 to $30,000 or $40,000.
A lot more limiting beliefs in their mind.
Whereas men are the opposite. Are like $15,000 to $30,000 a month. I want to make more type of stuff, which is normal because women are like, I have no experience. I never done this before. I'm like in my early 20s. How am I possibly going to be able to make $30,000 a month? Yeah. Whereas now, after they do it, it's actually easier, way easier than they thought. And now they're all like doing other stuff, traveling, investing, doing cool stuff. What are the top 3 things that the girls that we work with get out of the opportunity that we provide to them?
Top 3 things that they get provided with this opportunity. I'd say one is obviously lots of money, like fuck tons of money, beat that. But fuck tons of money. And then they get the flexibility. I think the hourly rates as well, like they work very less for heaps of money. So that's one thing. Second is that they can do all of this by being private. So not a lot of people know that they're doing this. But at the same time, they make a lot of money. They can travel the world. So by the nature of working online, you have all the flexibility that you need in terms of schedule and stuff. And I think the biggest aspect is really being private and making a lot of money from this. I'm speaking like what? Yeah. 40K, 50K per month in their pocket mark.
Online as well, right? The flexibility of working online as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, when you ask a person like, what does your ideal life look like? No one says a strict schedule. I wake up, have this, I go here, come back, and I just rinse and repeat. I think one of the most beneficial aspects of working online is flexibility. And the flexibility allows you to have, like, not the flexibility itself allows you to have a free life. That's the important thing, right? You have the freedom now to be able to do actually what you want, and then being able to change stuff. A lot of people get like very, I would say to an extent, like depressed even, because I think they're just stuck in a routine that they just want to change. And by human nature, humans want to change. Yeah. Want to change, that's actually an interesting thing. I would say, need to change.
Yeah. Not a lot of people want to change. A lot of people want to change.
That's true. I was gonna contradict myself. Like humans don't like change, but they also dislike being forced to do something on a routine basis, I believe. Sure. So that's what like working online allows you to do, and that's what the girls that we work with have the opportunity to just travel the world. If they don't want to freeze in the winter, there's a saying called, right, if you have money, summer is everywhere you go type of thing. I definitely don't think that's the sentence, but you know what I mean. So yeah, if you have money, you can obviously don't have to ever be in winter. You just can go just chill in Bali, just get some nice tan, be handsome like Giannis. But yeah.
So to summarize the story of how we started working together is she became a student in the academy, Begum, and then we became business partners in a business called Uprise Agency. And we basically were helping cleaning businesses with getting more clients. At least we thought we were.
Yeah, what an exciting niche.
Yeah, what an exciting niche. It was very easy to get clients in that niche, which was very motivating for us, because when we figured out how to actually get clients, we were like, okay, we're into something here. And when we went all in acquisition, we're like, okay, let's go ahead and let's get shit tons of clients and then charge them or free trials, whatever. We signed about 50 or 60 clients. We did some $10,000, $12,000 months. And I was basically more responsible of the front end side of things, like getting clients in the door. She was helping us well with closing them. And then more so she was into the service delivery side of things. But the one thing that was the most that we haven't had figured out was how to actually get results for the clients. We didn't really care about that. I was like, oh, figure it out. It's alright. We'll just
just get them in and then we'll welcome them, figure it out.
Yeah, so we did that.
Bear in mind, we did not have ChatGPT back then. So that's one thing that if we did, probably maybe.
Yeah, we didn't have many skills. We didn't have ChatGPT. We didn't use AI, so we're just going by what we knew. We didn't have much experience. And so fast forward 3, 4, 5 months after, we've made about 30, 40 grand total in the business. She made about a 1 to 2K profit. I made the same. And then the rest of the money went just into ad spend. We hired an investor, which was the worst fucking thing we've ever done. And really quickly, the business failed. 98, 99% churn rate. Like every single client left us. And we were left with nothing, basically.
Not only did we actually lost money rather than make money. So this story is just simply important because a lot of people think they're going to start the agency and they're going to have some bumps. I would assume they would expect some bumps happening, but then eventually it's going to succeed. But most of the time, your first business is probably going to fail, and that's right. That's good. That's normal. And I hope this story just inspires people to understand that that's the reality and that's okay to do. But sorry, I broke you.
You're good. And after that, we both fell into just not depression, but we were pretty
depression
sad.
For sure.
It was kind of depressed and pretty sad because I just went back into making about 2 to 3K months, which is not too bad. She was going back to zero. Yes. And a lot of times she was in my DM, she's saying, yeah, I want to quit. I'm just going to go back to school. I'm just going to...
Wow, that's true.
Yeah, so
I forgot that. Yeah, you reminded me.
She wanted to quit a lot of times. She was keep pushing. And then other times it's the opposite as well. She was more pushing and I was like, I want to quit type of thing. I'm done with this. And it's been for about 3 to 4 months, we've just been in this same scenario, just doing everyday stuff. She not making any money doing school stuff and trying to find a job and stuff like that. And found like some sort of low paying job in online. And then I was like a coach and doing something that I would like, but my goals were much bigger than that. And so we're both not happy. And then after that, about November 2024, I found an opportunity that was really what I needed. I met a guy called Conrad. And then with Conrad, he brought me into a company that was a modeling agency. He brought me into a company and we started working together. I started working as a co-manager. You were starting to get into what I was doing, which was coaching. She was starting to make most of money in life. She was pretty happier at least. And then we started building that company, and eventually me and Conrad and a few other people, we started a new agency because of some stuff. And as soon as we started the new agency, it started going really well, really quickly. We are now making well over $4 million a year as a revenue. And then she joined as well.
Success.
She joined as well. She's been a huge part of it, of course. She's like a direct model manager. I'm more into how to actually get the clients through the door. She's more so managing them. And we're a big part of that company as well. And now I'm at a point that I'm making really good money and she's also making really good money. And now we've found our place that we're both good at. And we would like also aligns because when we ran the Uprise agency, I was more into get clients in, and you were more into trying to figure service delivery, making them happy and speaking with them and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I think we both found what we're naturally good at, and you're good with building trust with people,
Yeah.
and speaking with them and managing them and being
Yeah.
really good at.
As a woman, I do. So one of the aspects that I forgot to mention, as a woman, you also have that upside. I think as a woman in the online space, you do have the upside of just building trust a lot faster. By the nature of like pattern interrupting, obviously by just because you're just one out of probably hundreds of tons of like online guru dudes and stuff. But otherwise, like that's one of the pros that I forgot to mention. Like it is quite easier to build more trust, and women are just naturally better at communication and understanding and just showing empathy, I'd say. So that's, if you as a woman trying to work in the online space, that's something that you can rely on. And that's why like typical roles like closing, setting, all that stuff that includes human interactions women tend to be a lot better than men. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think that women are really, really good at building trust with people.
Yeah.
And men are a little bit better at, I think, naturally, because of the, so it comes back to what we said about the social, how's it called?
Construct, social norms, social...
No, the
Society, jeez.
Yeah, because of the society has built that men are a little bit more, you can look up to or sort of like find competent. Not saying that they...
No, 100%. I find that to be very true. It is easier to build trust as a woman and harder to be seen as a competent. It's harder, but it's not impossible as well. Yeah. So when you find a combination of a woman who you can look up to, and she is competent and naturally just building the trust, so has that warmth aspect to her, I think that's like a very deadly combination. Like you can literally go into any company and make tons of money because you simply have those aspects. Yeah. One that you have by nature, and then one that you can obviously build a lot easier compared to just having trust.
I think that's why like a lot of people try to think, oh, they're equal, they're generously equal or whatever. I think that men are better in other things.
Why do we keep coming into this
it's conversation? It's true. Like we're men and women. It's like a lot of girls or men that are watching this could have a different opinions of that. And I think that men are more so built to, they're seen as like more easy to handle the big stuff in terms of like seem more confident, but they're not easy to like build trust with. They're not easy to make emotion. They're not that emotionally intelligent. They're not that good at connecting with people and making people open up to them. And I think that's something that women are really good at. And this is good with that in relationships, wife and husband, in business partner male, business partner female, is a perfect unity. Because when a female can build trust and make the clients open up to her, and the guy is more so getting them in and giving them to someone to be open up with, I think that's a perfect combination. I think that's
yin yang, you'd say.
So the summarization of today's video, what I wanted to get out of it is honestly to see, because like I've not worked with many girls, honestly. Most of them I'm surrounded with people. So I want to see how is it like on a girl to make it on the online world, but like we're gonna talk about that in another video as well. But what is like the pros and cons of a girl trying to make it online, and we should dive more deep into that. Because it's definitely, there's a lot of sexism and feminism going in around. And I think for men it's just, they're not being looked, like when a girl makes it or when a woman makes it, there's a lot of men saying, you made it because you slept with someone, or you made it because you're pretty. And I don't think that's the case, because I've worked with a lot of women, seen a lot of women who are just pretty but not competent, for example. That's true. And the other way around, I've worked with a lot of men who are not pretty but competent, or the other way around, who are pretty and not competent. So it's the same thing, but it's just that society has associated that with a lot of things. And also, it's been very impressive to see a young, my age, with the same age, another man, she's a woman, and for whoever's watching is our age, you can definitely make it, no matter if you're black, white, Mexican, if you're a woman, if you're a man, doesn't matter. Whatever you are, you can definitely make it. She's a girl from Turkey.
Right. I think my location is in the minority of everything that should be looked at rather than even my gender. Like I'm literally playing the odds game. I'm a woman who's living in Istanbul, Turkey, and I had no one around me that does any of this online space thing. So it's like, if you're a person that is kind of doubting themselves as to whether they can do it or not, I'm kind of the whole package of like, what are the odds, and then I made it happen. And if you guys want to actually, like, I haven't told much of my story as how I got into it, what I did, what's been my progress over the past 3 years that allowed me to now make decent amount of money, travel the world, and all that. If you guys want a part two, a breakdown as to how that actually happened, then I'm happy to do so. Obviously,
We should do. Let us know in the comments what should we talk about in more in depth next.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure talking with you, Begum. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye bye.